All Good Things is the final expansion for Space Empires 4X. But is this box full of all good things? Let's find out here on Legendary Tactics. The final expansion of Space Empires 4X is finally here. Here's a very quick overview of everything that is in the box. I was really excited about this. The series has been growing, first with Close Encounters, then with Replicators, and now finally with All Good Things. And there's a lot of cool stuff in here, and really, combined with everything else, this is the definitive edition of Space Empires 4X. You can see they've got the cool terrain tiles. This was a great improvement with Replicators, where they replaced things like black holes with a full tile, so it looked great on the table. They have some card decks. They've got crew decks and scenario decks and resource decks that allow you to add even more variability to the empires. And we have some plastic stands. These are for a variant which allows you to place your ships perpendicular to the board so you can see them more easily. And that's kind of neat. Of course, there's some baggies there. We also have lots of counters. The expansion allows up to 6 players, so there's lots of new counters. There's new ships, there's new terrain, there's additional extras of things if you need them. It's really got everything you need. It is the definitive version of Space Empires 4X. And that is really, really great that they were able to kind of finish this off and give it that final polish. And there's the extra counters for all the ships, for the additional factions. I can't even imagine playing a 6-player or even a 5-player game of this. It would be pretty neat, but it would also be absolute chaos. But it actually might lead to some interesting things like alliance making and breaking, which generally is a little harder to do with lower player counts. Of course, we have the tiles, which I also really like. These made their debut in Replicators, where you could replace, say, black holes with a full tile, and it just made it look a lot better on the board. And they've got all sorts of different options as far as aliens and alien technologies and that sort of thing. There's a player aid here for the AP bot. Lots of different solitaire scenarios. The solitaire scenario book is actually pretty thick. Now, again, the game has expanded so much that they've added so many ship types and extra technologies and all that sort of thing, that they have to cram it. In order to cram it into a one-page player aid, they have to use really fine print. So bring a magnifying glass, or at least your eyeglasses for this one, because there's so much stuff there to keep track of. We also have a couple of fleet cards there, and then we have the tracking sheets. And again, they have become crowded with trying to keep track of all the details, but they are going to definitely keep you busy. My friends have joked that Space Empires 4X is more like accounting, the board game. And I don't entirely disagree. There are aspects of it, but that's also part of the fun, is managing your empire and all that comes along with it. So we've got 4 booklets, actually. And the first one, which we're looking at here, is the Card Manifest and Deep Space Planet Attributes Guide. And this book, which we're looking at right now, is all the solo and cooperative scenarios. They got a whole book. It's very thick. There's lots of ways to play this solo, and I think that's how many people are going to experience this game. It's hard to get 2 players together sometimes, let alone 6. And then we finally have the definitive rulebook. This has everything in it, all the rules from all the expansions. You don't need to look anywhere else. I think it's going to save a lot of bouncing back and forth. You just need to look in one spot. And then we have the competitive scenarios as well. And I think there is repetition in these rulebooks and so forth, because they are essentially, this is, as I said, this is the final version of this game. And so if you have other rulebooks, you will find that you already own most of the content, but I think it's good to have it all in one spot, so you don't need to look anywhere else, and it will have everything you need right where you need it. So anyway, as you know, we like to put the boxes that we rebox back into the shrink wrap. You just have to stretch it out there, and this keeps the game pristine and ready to go for future plays, which is how we like to store them on our shelves. So anyway, if you are a fan of Space Empires, I think you will want to check out All Good Things. Thank you so much for watching. This is Legendary Tactics.